On police reform, the president's obviously hosting that meeting with members of the CDC today. Today, he said that justice is long overdue relating to the death of Tyre Nichols. Looking at the State of the Union, how much of an emphasis will President Biden be placing on police reform specifically in that speech, and what kind of request might he
No,
make?
it's a good question. I'm not going to get ahead of the president's speech. I want to be very careful on doing that. As I just mentioned, it's constantly being reworked, and it will be till the very last moment. But as I said from the top, it is a deeply important issue for this president. Again, when Congress could not act or would not act because Republicans got in the way of getting a really important critical piece of legislation, the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, he stepped in. And what he put forward in the executive actions, clearly on the federal level, dealing with federal agencies, was something that had never been done by any other president. So that shows his commitment. And him today, he's sitting down and having a conversation with the Congressional Black Caucus and continuing efforts on how we deal with this issue, how we really truly get to a transformational change with police reform, I think also shows his commitment. And so that's going to occur later today. As you all know, there'll be a pool spray at the top, and you guys will experience the president coming together with the Congressional Black Caucus, members of the Congressional Black Caucus, to have that conversation. But certainly I'm not going to get ahead of what specifics will be in the president. Again, I'm not going to get ahead of the president on what he's going to specifically talk about. I laid out the economic, his economic, what he has laid out for his economic policy in the last 2 years, and he will certainly talk about that. I talked about the optimism that he has for this country. I'm just not going to go into details about any specific pieces of legislation that he'll discuss or issues that he'll discuss.